many, the Pet Shop Boys epitomise 80s pop. With their synthetic beats and dance vocals, Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe helped define a generation of electronic music. Unforgettable hits like West End Girls and It's a Sin won them numerous awards and 4 #1 spots on the UK chart. And their flamboyant outfits and style became instant trademarks. But few would have guessed that this duo would still be going strong after 25 years.
We were probably slightly worried that we'd be a one-hit wonder.
Over the past 2 decades, they've sold more than 100 million albums. Last March, they released the album Yes to rave reviews. And the DVD of their hit London concert Pandemonium has come out just this week. From dance pop pioneers to cult classics, the Pet Shop Boys are our connectors of the day. Earlier I spoke to the electronic pop duo Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe, better known as the Pet Shop Boys. I began with a question a lot of you want an answer to. What's your upcoming Pandemonium tour schedule looking like? Loads of you wrote in for that from all over the world. Here is what they had to say.
Well, we've just announced some more tour dates. We're playing some more dates in Britain in July, and we've announced our first festival appearance, which is in Barcelona at the end of May. There will be some more. We're in a discussion about whether we're going to play Australia. Because we get a lot of messages from Australia about where we're playing that. But we don't really have a huge audience in Australia, it's about it's a long way to go. So it's 2 people. To play to 2 people.
Well, we should just invite them over here.
Yes. Please,
it'll be cheaper for everyone. It's a lot cheaper for everyone.
But actually, we're looking into we haven't done the Middle East or Southeast Asia yet, or Australia, and that's all under discussion for later on in the year.
Chris Jones writes in, he says, anyone now can make electronic music, even on the iPhone. He says, do you think that it will reveal more talent than when it was harder and more expensive to make music?
It's a good point, because when electronic music was very difficult to make, when we first started making music, sequencing stuff was very, very, very complicated, and stuff would happen because of accidents of programming. So I'm in 2 minds. I think it's great if you can facilitate people making music, because people with no musical training often turn out to have songwriting ability, and this enables them to do that.
Aaron Fuller writes in, when you started out, guys, did you ever imagine you'd become an act quite like this one? And he alludes to Bowie. Well, he alludes to Bowie. He says, each time recreating yourselves as pop chameleons, rolling with the changing times.
Our standard answer to a question like this is, we've never really looked that far ahead. So when we started, in the early 80s, writing songs together, it was like a hobby, and then we made a record, and then things were developed from that. But we weren't really thinking where we're going to be in 25 years. We were just thinking it was sort of great while it lasted. And I still think it's great while it lasts.
Good. Jordan Christopher writes, and he says, you've had a fantastic 2009. What's next for the Pet Shop Boys?
Fantastic 2010.
One hope so.
Well, we're doing some more dates. We're writing a ballet, which will be performed at Sadler's Wells next year, and see if any more offers come through for any more dates around the world. So.
Lots of questions about the ballet. What more can you tell us at this point?
Well, we were a friend of ours called Yvonne Petrov, who's a principal dancer at Royal Ballet, asked us if we'd write a short ballet for him to appear at Sadler's Wells in the summer when the Royal Ballet on stage. And at the same time, Chris phoned me up and he read a book, a short story by Hans Christian Andersen. He thought one would make a perfect idea for a ballet, so it's really funny if Hans had turned up and said, we write a ballet. So we decided the synchronicity meant that we had to do it, and so we went and met Sadler's Wells, and they liked the idea.
One of our viewers actually writing into us, would you ever perform that in the States?
We would if we were asked. One of the great misconceptions people often have is that a band just decides they're going to do something and then it happens. Actually, all these things are reliant on people approaching you and saying, would you like to do such and such in such culture play? It's like we were promoting Australia before. Australian promoters aren't calling us themselves to book such a book.
Tony Sim.